conditioned leasing of public and communal land, formation of public and mixed development. Okay? This is absolute communism, socialism, fascism, combination of all. But it's the end of what you thought was your country, is what it is. I just want to, this is all urban development there, but this is all NGOs, all UN. This World Federation, where is that? The World Association of World Federalists is kind of, I like that because Walter Cronkite, okay, the man you can trust in news, I was a member of this thing. He's dead now, but he's a member. And I do have a video up on my site of Walter accepting their award. And during that acceptance, Walter Cronkite says how proud he is to sit at the side of Satan. Okay? This is your media, folks. This is the guy you can trust. Okay? And then we have Hillary Clinton coming in, of course. And good job, Walter. You know. We also have Maud Barlow, who's hooked up with this mess. Maud Barlow, our water queen, who's going to save our water. Okay? Treasonous as you can get your hands on. There's a golden rule. Anybody that gets a lot of media attention in this country, they're working for the wrong side. It's funny because when I ran in the 2007 election, Elizabeth May came out with a statement that if elected, that she would put a large telescreen in every community hall in Canada. Okay, come on down 1984, let's go down and see the telescreen, right? And now they're going to put the telescreens, actually, they've cut a deal with Walmart, who's going to put the telescreens in Walmart so the government can give you information. And they can tell you to look out for criminals, okay? I mean, we're really way down the road here now.
Yes. Another classic thing that they've done in tyrannical empires, like Hitler and Stalin, is turn the children and the youth away from their parents.
Well,
and I was walking downtown past the Green Party office doing my snow clearing, and I couldn't help notice that their new symbol has a triangle around it, a pyramid. And then there was a little poster next to it that says, Youth of Canada, vote green because your parents effed up the environment. No way. Your parents.
This is on, I mean,
this is what it's all about.
Okay, so we cannot blindly wander around and pretend that we don't have to get involved, that our politicians are going to fix things for us. It ain't going to happen. Okay, they spent, the first Earth Day was 1970. The first Earth Charter was 1972, okay? And they had taken all that time to put all their people into the media, the churches, the schools, the politicians, the bureaucrats, okay? There is no one out there looking out for your ass or my ass. We are on our own. And we're going to have to come up with some kind of a way we're going to deal with this. Okay, this is Death of Canada, ripping apart. This is from Tom DeWeese. He does some good videos. Using radical environmentalists to take your property, using public schools to change your children, and now using Christian churches to spread environmental propaganda. And I think this is the last one here, I hope. Okay, I got two clips. Wind farms the reality. One part of the plan to destroy Canada and remove the right to property. This is being done in the guise of saving the environment. A lie. Global to local means your government at all levels are working to implement Agenda 21. Forget about the health studies because there's two wind groups out, okay, who I'm not allowed to speak at their meetings because I bring up the United Nations. I bring up what's really going on. So they have reduced themselves to nothing more than controlled opposition by only ever talking about health studies. They keep the people hypnotized. They keep them from looking any deeper because we in Canada always tend to go to somewhere that somebody will help us. So as long as they give the guys that they're helping, then people go home and watch TV. So I'm not allowed to speak at those meetings. Even though I run in 2 elections, I'm still not allowed to speak at their meetings. Okay, how to stop the wind farms and anything else, because it's all connected, okay, all of it, is people power. And how are we going to organize the people to deal with this? It seems, I've talked to George about it, and Doug a little bit, and Rob a little bit, and a few other people. It seems to me the only reason, it doesn't look like we are going to be able to change the minds of those who wish to move us off our land and into the human settlements. We can't deal with that. So somehow we're going to have to come up with a parallel society, basically, of which we are not going to accept their bull. We cannot go to our church. We cannot go to the school and ask them to reverse what's going on. Not now. But if we show them what real people do, hopefully we can bring them to our side, because we're going to have to offer them some kind of a solution, because they don't have one either. They can't get out of that system. They don't know how to get out. We're going to have to show them how to get out, and we've got to figure out the best way to do that. Okay, no local government, and I mean no local government. The Green Energy Act, which took away the rights of the municipalities on zoning, and not one municipality stood up against it, which tells you what they're up to. Okay, they give a little bit of lip service now, but that's after the fact. Okay, the local government is doing the bidding of the province, which is doing the bidding of the UN. So you can forget about your local council or the province, as they will not stand in the way of Agenda 21. That is going to be our job, and we have got to somehow wake up the youth. No child in this province should be standing or sitting in a school classroom in this province. Just a couple of quick things I get from students. They're being jammed on this global warming thing. When you ask them why they believe in global warming, they can't tell you. All they can tell you is that it must be real because people keep jamming it down our throat everywhere we go. When you ask a student why they don't question the teacher, they don't use the word teacher, they use the word authority, and they say we're not allowed to question authority. The children believe that the earth is running out of water. Not possible. But the worst part of it is that the school is teaching your children and grandchildren that you are guilty. Okay? And if we don't get a hold of the kids and get them moving with us, it's over. There's a quote that's attributed to Hitler, and the guy is in his 50s or whatever, he goes up to Hitler and he says, I can't come on your side. This is when Hitler had the Hitler Youth, which is what is going on in the school system today. And he basically said that I cannot come on your side, and Hitler supposedly looked at him and said, you don't matter, because you will pass. And once that has been done, we, the state, are all the children will know. We can't let that happen. So basically, if somebody is interested in wind, go to windfarms.wordpress.com, go back up to 206 when we started the blog, move your way forward, and I'm really appreciative that everybody came out here. It's been a great meeting. I'm bone tired. I went to bed at 3:30 in the morning, so you have to excuse me. But if you have any questions specifically dealing with wind and that, let me know. No, what I find from people is that people are still, people have succumbed to this idea of global warming. No one in the WCO, which is Wind Concerns Ontario, which is a group of 55 groups, supposedly fighting wind, or Wind Vigilance, which has got doctors and that in it. There's not one of those groups, or one of the leaders of those groups, that can bring themselves to say that this is all a scam, which it is. It's a blatant freaking scam, and it should be treated like that. Okay, these people should be arrested when they come into your community and try to put these wind turbines in, because the police are supposed to look out for your best interest and stop scams. This is a scam. Might want to bring that up. But no, what you get from all the wind fighters is the first sentence out of their mouths is always, we're not against wind. Well, how can you say that you're standing up for your groups if you won't acknowledge the scam that it is? You can't do it. That's why I look at them as controlled opposition. You know, the president of WCO, I jumped in on a radio station, he hasn't talked to me since, but the first words out of his mouth, and he's supposed to be the president of the Association Fighting Wind Farms, is, I just want everyone to understand, we're not against wind. They intend, on the last maps I saw, to put in 5,000 wind turbines in southern Ontario. So it may be in a strip now, but they're going to fill it in.
And it a lot of landowners.
It will lower the price of your land, okay? And you what? Yeah, I've got all kinds of sick people. I know lots of people who moved out of their homes, right? When you have Health Canada, actually I phoned the head of Health Canada. I talked to the head guy from Health Canada back in early 2007, and I was explaining some of the problems people were having, and he broke into a wind commercial for me. I mean, this is top to bottom, okay? And this is what I mean. When people say they think they can go to their local politician and get something accomplished, it can, because this is from bottom to top. Okay, there is no one out there that's going to stop it except you. Now, I got a call from a guy out of Rhode Island yesterday afternoon, and he was concerned about some wind turbines that were going to come in there. And what I told him was that, you know, if you're going to have a municipal or local election come up, the only place you can get a hold of power is at the local level. So if you have a local election coming up, roust up your folks, get in there and try to get the majority vote. And he says, funny you should mention that, because we just had a local election, and 2 weeks after the election, they dropped this bomb on us about wind, and they're in there for 4 years. Right? So what I basically told him is that you're going to have to, there's no one on your side, nobody. Okay, so don't think that hopefully somebody will come to your system. They won't. Your fellow citizens are who's going to have to do the job. And what I told the guy in Rhode Island was, if you're serious, you better find some guys that you know with some backhoes. And if you plan on protecting your land, you better be prepared to start ripping roads up. Those are your roads, you paid for those roads. That is your land that you're protecting. You have every right to protect your land. Because other than that, okay, this is based on paganism, okay. The church is Christian. We need bodies. I'll go to the church. Boy, did I get a cool reception. and that got me doing some more research, and I found some documents from the UN by Robert Mueller, who's basically the guy in charge of the one world religion. And the documents state how they went and infiltrated the churches years ago, because you had that ecumenical movement, right, which you know, from the Buddhists to the United Church minister went and kissed the hand of the Pope, which gave themselves to Rome, right? Okay, so they are being ruled through Rome, which is the New World Order. So your Christian pastors are not. And I was rather disappointed in that. They actually had a 1-800 line back to Mueller's office. It was called the 1-800 Green Line. So that if a parishioner should start to ask questions about this Earth Charter and all this kind of stuff, that they could actually phone the United Nations, and that they would talk to the preacher on how to deal with that particular parishioner to keep a handle on this. Yeah, so I mean, but you got to look on the bright side, right? Okay, there's 34 million Canadians here, right? Okay, surely to God we can roust up some folks to do something. Yeah,
Well, we better do it fast.
I'm done. I got to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron Stevens. Ron is definitely a man that can go on all night. It's all great information, but we got to keep moving. So I don't mean to cut anyone short or anything.